We're in a world right now where many of us are a little confused. We see the things that are going on around us and we wonder what is going to happen next. I've seen a lot of changes, a lot of changes. And some of those changes have been for the better, and some of those changes have not been necessarily for the better. One of my favorite scriptures in the Bible is found in John, the 14th chapter, and it's the 6th verse. And Jesus said to him, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." I am the way, the truth, and the life. But I noticed something that always stood out to me. In the same book, in John, it also says in the 8th chapter, in the 12th verse, because Jesus spoke unto them saying, "I am the light of the world." In John 14, he says, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." Life. In John 8, he says, "I am the light of the world. He who follows me shall not walk in darkness." Now, some of you feel like you're in the dark right now because of all the things that's happening that you're hearing online, whether it's the government decisions. Is our government changing? We started out, as many people would believe, as a Christian nation, predominantly Christian, believing in Jesus, believing in salvation, having a freedom of religion here in the United States, a freedom of speech, a freedom to do what we felt that God wanted us to do. God has a plan. And there's going to be some things that's going to happen out here that we can't do anything about. It's beyond our control of controlling what is going to happen in the near future. Now, yes, you have a voice. Yes, you have a vote in a democracy or in a republic like we have here in the United States. You have a voice because of your vote. As long as you have that voice, you can make a difference to a certain point. As long as you have that voice, you can stand up and say what you need to say to help change the world. I want to read to you what Martin Luther King said many years ago. And it was, in my opinion, a very important quote of Martin Luther King that to me is one of his greatest quotes of all. He says, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness." Wow. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Where he says, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." Now, when Jesus says, "I am the light of this world. He who follows me shall not walk in darkness, but have the light of life." And then when Jesus, just a few chapters later, says, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. And no one comes to the Father except through me," that also stands out very, very distinctly to me. Now, I know I'm reading some from the Bible here, and I'm going to switch over to where Paul wrote in Ephesians, the 5th chapter, 8th verse. He says, "For you were once darkness, but now you are light in this world, in the Lord. Walk as children of light. For the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness, righteousness, and truth." Remember, Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. For it is shameful even to speak of those things which are done by them in secret." Now that hit me hard. So this is where I felt a little bit guilty, because I have gone online and I've shared my aggravation and irritation And when my former pastor and I was talking recently, and he was sharing with me that, he says, Jeff, you can't change these things. Don't let it upset you. Don't let it show through you that you're upset. And you're constantly trying to expose all the different things that are going on as if it matters. And it does matter to a certain point, but at the same time, when that scripture says emphatically, for it is shameful even to speak of those things which are done by them in secret. There's a lot of secret things going on right now. There's a lot of corrupt things going on right now, and we know that. And it affects all of us. And social media has given us a platform to talk about so many things that are consistently being done in secret that are not good for the world, or not good for us, or not good for you that have a farm. We know this. And a lot of the YouTube channels are dedicated to just exposing secrets. You see a lot of the word conspiracy or conspiracy theorist or conspiracy theory being used. The reason for that is because the more of those conspiracy theorist type talks are happening, the more conclusions and assumptions are made by people that are compiling the information. They're pulling information from 100 different sources they find online, and you can find anything you want to online that can say anything that you want to back up. So no matter what your argument is online, you can find somebody that has written something, posted it on social media, or posted it on some website to back up whatever claim that you may have, whether it be flat earth or round earth, or something about some individual that has done this or done that. Any type of conspiracy theorist theme that you want to talk about, you can find it online. Doesn't matter what it is, it's there. It could be anything from aliens to the South Pole, whatever it may be. But listen to this next verse, on 13th verse of chapter 5 in Ephesians. But all things that are exposed and made manifest by the light, for whatever makes manifest is light. And going down to the 15th verse, see then that you walk circumspectly. You can look up the word circumspectly. It means to walk truthfully, with integrity, with a solid declaration of being a person who is respected as being truthful. Not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Wow. Did you notice that to talk about the things that are done in secret is not really the goal that we should be focused on? To talk about the truth is what we should be focused on. The light is brought out by speaking the truth. The light is never brought out by talking about the things that are done in secret. The light is brought out by speaking the truth that is opposite and contradictory to the lies that are being told in secret. So if you want to make a difference in this world, you can't fight hate with hate. You can't fight darkness with darkness. You can't correct the problems and the conspiracies or the lies or the corruption or anything else that's going on in this world by just talking about it. The only way that you can truly change the things that are done in darkness is to be the light and to be connected to the ultimate light, which is Jesus Christ. If you were to take a room full of bright lights and you were to take a coffee can into that room that's completely sealed off, there's no light in that coffee can. An empty coffee can filled with darkness. I can carry that empty coffee can into that room of light and open it up, and that darkness will not affect the room at all. We start exposing the light. It's a different story, because if you have a room filled with darkness, a room that has no light in it at all, it's just pitch dark. And if I were to have a coffee can with a light inside of it, and I were to walk into that dark room and I were to open up the lid and pull the light out, it would light up the room. You see, light has power. Darkness only has power when there's no existence of light. So if you truly want to make a difference in this world, you're not going to do it by constantly talking about what's going wrong. If you want to make a difference in this world, you'll bring light and love and happiness and the goodness of God. You'll bring Jesus to the world. You'll bring your positive attitude to the room. You'll bring oxygen to the room. You'll bring affirmation to a group of people that need to be lifted up. And that's the way it is in a lot of our churches today. We see a lot of churches are constantly talking about what's wrong with you, or what's wrong with the people in the audience, or what's wrong with the world. And there's a place for that. I'm sure that things need to be discussed, but at the same time, to me, one of the greatest messages that are ever given to us is when Jesus comes out and just says, I am the light of this world. In other words, when he is the light of this world, that exposes all the things that are in the darkness. You don't have to be darkness to expose darkness. Let's remember that. So this is just a different type of video, I'm sure, that you're normally seeing here on the Welch Family Homestead. I've got a lot of work to do. I'm dressed to work. I'm already dirty. And I have many things on my mind. And that's why I wanted to come to you today and tell you that the homestead here is much more than just animals and vegetables and trees and building barns. It's much more than that. I want the homestead here, the Welch Family Homestead, to be a light on a hill. Not a light like an electric light, but I want it to be a light that will shine and annihilate the darkness in people's life. Because there's so many people out there that need a good influence or a good motivation to do better in life, to give them a chance. It's one thing to talk about the problems. It's another thing to talk about the solutions. And I want our channel to be focused more on, yes, we may have disasters happen here with weather, or may have things happen on the farm that some of us don't want to happen, but what is that solution? I want every video to end with, when you end one of our videos, that you feel better than you did before you watched it. And my rooster always has to be part of the video in the background, giving us the ambiance of a background. Now, I want you to take this day and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Someone who is caught up in all the negative stuff that's going on in this world, and that's all they want to talk about. Share with them this video and let them realize how powerful it would be for them to truly be part of the solution, instead of just being the one who is repeating over and over and over all the problems, verbally exposing everything that's going on and talking about everything that's going on, talking about the negative, because that just brings them down. That just brings their spirit down. It causes them not to feel good. It causes them not to be as happy as they used to be. It causes them not to look optimistic about the future. It causes them not to be able to see the goodness in tomorrow. If they will transition the way that they think and the way that they talk to being a positive individual or a solutions-oriented individual, they will get so much more done in life and be much happier. God bless you. May you prosper and be in good health is my prayer. In Jesus' name, from the Welch Family Homestead, this is Jeff signing off.
Come here. Come here.